FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Aston. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
My idea was to go Liverpool.
Yes, people. Welcome to another episode of the Anfield South podcast with me. Y'all know my name already. Not that I'm that famous, but hey, it's your boy Slim back at it again, man. You know what I'm saying? And to my left, we got Sam with us.
That's right.
Get me, right? Bajan Bruce. And off camera, big man like Chris and that. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, guys?
He's here. Chris will jump on it a bit. You know what I'm saying? This is a three-man seating arrangement, so you know we have to do a little shimmy thing. You know what I'm saying? But let me wipe the smile off my face because let's get down to business, boys. Let's start with that game at the Empty had at last year's previous champions, because we're this year's champions, by the way. Just in case you forgot. Man City Liverpool. It was we lost 4-0. I'm just gonna jump straight on that. What the hell was that performance? What was that? Someone please tell me, what was that performance?
Lackluster. It was. Do you know what? That, to be honest, I know we watched it together. Your view was a bit different to mine, but I was probably a bit. I'm kind of give the guys a little bly because obviously 30 years and all that. I can't harp out about it anymore. But 20 minutes into the game, if we had took our chances, it'd be a different game, innit? But
yeah, so there's such an old cliche.
I know, but it's really. I mean, you look at it. This team, if you're honest with it, we have the one up on City anyway. When I say that, I mean when they play us, we're the team that when they play us, they're a bit like, it's Liverpool. It's not like it's Arsenal.
No, it weren't like that last. What was it? Thursday? It wasn't like that on Thursday.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Think about it. We've took their crown. They lost to Chelsea.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's go back. Let's start with it first of all. Let's start with that guard of honour.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was some half-hearted, half-assed kind of attempt at sportsmanship. I don't know, yeah. They shouldn't have even been bothered.
I mean, the guard of honour is a thing that has brought out respect, really, for the champions, the current champions. And I believe, out of respect to the current champions, if it was the other way around, the guard of honour is the right thing to do, that team's efforts throughout the whole season. Granted, the season's not finished yet, but throughout the whole season, it's only right you clap. Like I've said before, I feel like during the season, you could be playing against your friend, but you're fierce rivals on the pitch. But when it's all said and done, professionalism, sportsmanship, you know what I mean, friendship, shake their hand, well done, you know what I'm saying? You might have a little laugh and joke, but that guard of honour from City was weak. What was Bernardo Silva doing, man? Ooh. How disrespectful was that, man?
Yeah, just walks off in the middle. Nothing's happened. I mean, you'd have thought City would have reprimanded him or something, but nothing. It's
just disrespectful, to do that to a team who you're supposed to be showing some respect. Like, you can have your personal views. Mm-hmm. You might not like that team, and you might be in your head saying "fucking whatever," but show some class, man.
Yeah, just for the public image. Yeah. It reflects badly on City. It looks tacky.
Makes them look a bit salty.
Yeah, definitely.
And they might not be, because for all we know, they might not be. We don't know them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how it comes across. So that start to the game wasn't right. And then, do you side with Leroy in terms of the performance? Do you give the team a bly, considering they might have been partying a little bit hard that whole week?
It's a hard one because for me, any team can lose to any team. We're playing Man City. Man City over the last couple of years have been one of the best teams in Europe. But for me, it's the way you lose. And how Liverpool as a club and their history is built, and how Klopp has built our team, that standard is unacceptable. That standard of performance is that's not Liverpool, man. Come on.
I fully agree with you.
So that's just my own personal view. But in the overall grander schemes of things,
it makes
what we've done. Yeah, we've won the league. Makes no difference. We've won the war. So yeah.
But like you said, even though we won the war, you still like to win the battles,
Yeah.
Do you know what, for me, right, it's not so much the losing, because City are a great team.
Yeah.
And we have an absolutely wretched record at the Empty had. Do you know what I'm saying? Just as they have a horrid record at Fortress Anfield. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not a problem. I mean, you go to Spain, look at Barcelona, Madrid. Do you know what I'm saying? You can lose they lose at each other's grounds, but they still win the title, or whatever. So the losing isn't the problem, but the way we lost, man. I mean, I just want to single out Andy Robertson. He was awful. There was for 3 of the goals, he has just dived into a challenge that he had no right diving into, was never going to win. He had no respect for City, and he dived into tackles, didn't get nowhere near the ball, left a space, goals were conceded.
Yeah.
And I'm ranting. I'm actually ranting. Yeah. It's bringing it back for me. And Joe Gomez, man, I don't know, man. Sterling must have got in his head before the game or something, because he just weren't right himself either, man, to the point where he got yanked.
That was just not Joe Gomez. That was like an uncharacteristic performance. He's normally solid, but just, like I said, he got drawn into situations he shouldn't have got drawn into. And at this stage, from what I've seen of him so far, he should know better than that. That's my gripe.
I mean, I think, was it you saying that Gomez, I don't know if it was you, but someone said Gomez is now of the ilk where you can leave him alongside a Matip. Wasn't it? Because he's learnt so much of a Van Dijk, you can leave. But I know it's only one game. I'm not going to be like harsh and throw him to the walls, but I'm just saying, like, that game, it's like all of his training, all of his teachings had gone out the window, man.
I think for a player like him in a minute, I don't want to go into that whole thing, but his age. But what I would say with him is he's a guy, if he gets the first challenge, 2 or 3 challenges in on Sterling, he's that confidence player. So he's now going to think, I've got him in my pocket. Whereas in what happened is Sterling's got a good start to that game. And I'll give it to him. It's control in that game. Sterling's was tight. It was tight. He
was on it, sir.
And he had a point. He was trying to make a point because he's always had a problem with us. Whenever he plays us,
but his problem playing us has always been at Anfield, though.
But he has a point to try. He always feels. I think he always feels he has to try and, and after that last incident with those 2, I think he wanted to just show him, listen, I'm the bee's knees, innit? You're not gonna have me in your pocket this game. But it happens, innit? I mean, like Robotron, Gomez, realistically, these guys, we're actually nitpicking here, innit? Because these guys are
usually solid.
Yeah,
they have been.
I can't knock him. Like, I mean, Robotron, there's games when I've seen him play in Europe, and realistically, you're talking about a player that's come from Hull to us, and is playing there. I've seen guys. I remember when England played, and I think Baines was playing for it, and everyone was going on about Baines. But Everton didn't have no European football. So when you're coming up against these different kind of guys, it's a different level of football.
Yeah.
So for me to see Robotron doing his thing, and I'm like, whoa. So you have an off game?
You have to respect it. This is the thing. And this is what I was saying on Thursday. Like, everyone was saying, but we're champions, blah, blah, blah. But I take each game for as it is. 100%. And I pick apart each game. And I'm not saying, Robertson, sell him, like some people would say. I think I saw someone say Klopp out at some point on Twitter. Yeah, like, it was
nonsense.
It's
From
crazy.
the 4-0?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey.
It's crazy, yeah.
Hey.
Like,
It's
it's
getting
mad.
back the Liverpool community,
But
the Liverpool fan base.
But my point is, I take every game as it is, and that game I had to single out Robertson, Gomez. To be fair, no one was really good, but the front 3 weren't really firing either in that game. But as I was saying on Thursday, when the front 3 haven't been firing, our back 4 has been solid, which is what's kept us in games and allowed us to win certain games. So that's why I was a little bit disappointed with the defence. I don't know if you lot want to talk about the front 3 and the chances that they had and they missed, but for me, I was disappointed in the fact that we didn't keep it solid at the back and we let Man City just penetrate the back doors, blood.
Do you know what I would like? I'd like to see more with us, and it's going to sound thing, but I want us to be even more clinical, because the problem I find that we have is we create so much in a game, that there's always this mentality that when we miss a chance, it's like, that's all right, another one will come. But in tight games, you got to think to yourself, that might be your one. You might have 2 chances that whole game, clear cut, and if you don't take them, it's a wrap. It's either a draw or you could possibly lose that game.
I think that's a kind of barometer for next season, because I think next season you got Chelsea are going to be strong, United are going to be strong. So those games, when you get them chances, you got to be clinical.
Got to bury.
So we need to learn from this.
100%. And you know what? After we discuss the Villa game, we'll talk about our striking issue, if you like, as well. So if it skips my mind, remind me. But the front 3 were definitely off on Thursday, but it's going to happen, isn't it, in games, innit? And I guess that's another thing we're going to talk about as well. That's where your bench comes into it and stuff like that. But we'll go at that after we discuss the Villa game. But I don't buy into the whole, they've been partying for a week, blah, 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 we're champions. That's not professional enough for me. I liken it to a boxer. A boxer wins the belt, whatever belt it might be. What, does he take a day off? If he takes a day off in his next fight, he gets knocked out, loses the belt. Yeah. So I believe you got to keep boxing for the 12 rounds, and then the next 12 rounds you fight, and it's the same principle. And I don't think I think that's a really bad excuse.
Klopp's raised us better.
He's
raised us better. Seriously.
He has.
Me as a fan, and like just the way our attitude to things, like when you say I'll change you from doubters to believers, telling Liverpool fans stop doubting. And I think with our team and with how he sets us out, we go out there to win, be clinical. There's a certain level you don't fall below, and we 100%. Fell below that, and that's what hurts me. It's not the loss. Like I said, anyone can lose to anyone in football.
Well,
but
not us. But we can lose to City. No, I know what you're saying. No, we can lose to City. You're right. It is the performance that really hurts the most, especially after the positive performance we had against Palace.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
When we were talking about like that's everything that's good about us. Yeah. That was everything that was bad about us.
100.
So,
yeah, man. Terrible, but it is what it is. We lost it 4-0. We move on from that, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's boogie on, man. Come to today's game, Villa at home. I think it's important to say that Klopp changed the midfield three. So we had the midfield three, the KFC midfield three, as we like to call it. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like
Keita, Fabinho, and Chamberlain. Do you know what I mean? So. To me, that's quite an attacking midfield three, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, no, I was happy with that midfield. I was happy to kind of see him mix it up and change it up. But I was a little bit disappointed that I don't think they really grasped that opportunity. I feel, for me, these games are about like seeing what our squad's made of, seeing like what the fringe players are saying. And I wanted to get from these next games players that want that shirt, and that's going to really push the first 11. But I just thought today, no, it wasn't terrible. It was average, and it was lackluster. It was a team that had nothing to play for. That was my overriding impression, especially that first half.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with that the midfield three. I thought they would go a bit harder. Do you know what I'm saying? Considering they're not starters, I thought they'd go a bit harder. Bajan Bruce opens his notepad, man. He's got a few things to say. This is what I like to see, you know. A man comes to the podcast, he's prepared. He's got points he wants to make.
You know what was for me? I thought, if I'm really honest, the player I thought should have really should be taking the ball by the horns is Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
I think
Chris is nodding furiously off camera. Speak up, Chris, man. I'm sure they can hear you from there still. You know what I'm saying?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah. I think he's. Do you know what's disappointing? Like, you know what it's disappointing is the passing, the range. Like, if you know you haven't got a certain range in you, play to your strengths. I don't mind if you play to your strengths, but he just doesn't seem like he's at it. For me, Fabs is a first team 11. It doesn't matter for him. He's done that. He's shown everyone what he's about. The only thing he needs to add, if he can, is the scoring of more goals. Naby, as much as I'm his biggest critic, seeing him today get 90 minutes, and when you brought those two subs, as in Winnie and Hendo, allowed him to do what he needed to do. Without that, I think he did actually have to think about his thingy duties.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you think like Naby was playing a bit of a not a holding role, but he didn't really have the freedom, the license to get forward as you would like?
I feel that 100%, and that comes from how that midfield setup was.
But I think he should know that. That's the way we play. We know we play. The three midfielders are going to be workaholics. The three midfielders have got a kind of are backing up the front five, if you like. So I think he should know that. I think
Naby or
Naby should know that. You know what? You're part of a solid midfield.
Is that Naby's game though? Is that his game?
It's not. We're not playing to his strengths that way. But I just think he should know that. That's how it's been ever since he's been there. What's different?
I think with the player that he is and what he can offer, I've been complaining about this whole, because it's in my notes. I want us to have, like, you see how Man City have this Kevin, like Kevin can do. He can score. I call him Kevin. That's it. I don't call him nothing.
He's your legend.
Kevin,
Big Kev.
Kevin can score free kicks. He takes corners. But he threads balls in. Like, he's a threat. everywhere. Yeah. Now, if you talk about our midfield, yeah, do we have that guy that can do all of that? If you can, I'll wait. For
But
you to
does
tell
Klopp
me.
want that?
No, but it's not just what Klopp wants. I think you need it in your team. I think we need that. I think we need to
We've got
have
players
an
with that capability.
answer.
I think Oxlade-Chamberlain can do it, cater, but is that what Klopp's saying? Is that what Klopp's asking?
I disagree. I disagree with you there, Sam.
Go on.
I don't think we have a KDB type like in our team.
Oh,
at
no
all.
one's got a KDB type.
But some teams have. I mean, you even look at Wolves. They got like Matinho in there. Like, they might
Matinho's KDB.
No.
You're saying what the capability.
Yeah,
like,
what they
he
try
can
to,
do.
how he plays and what he tries to do. Yeah, no one is the level of Kevin De Bruyne. Let's not get it twisted.
Alright.
But teams have players of that ilk in their ranks. Now, as a top team that we are, we need to be able to have that either starting on the pitch or coming off the bench.
Yes.
Now,
I agree.
if you ask my personal opinion, Ox and Kate are in the mold of Kevin De Bruyne in the sense of each of them can do what he does as one singular player. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
driving runs, they can both do that. Thread a pass, it's more Cater's style. Do you know what I'm saying? Cross a ball, that's more Ox's style. So we have the KDB traits, but in two players, but we need it in one.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, it's
100%.
sometimes. Today was a perfect example. Yeah, when a team, because I felt for Villa who they are, all right, they've had a terrible season in that sense. Yeah, but what happens is when you get a team that starts, I always say this, they get a rhythm. Yeah, of how you're playing. Yeah, you need someone that can come and unlock it, like
I'm with
can
you
make
all
a
the
little
way.
bang and
I'm with
speed it
you all
up.
the way. I'm just thinking Klopp doesn't ask. They're being specifically asked to
play
hold,
this.
to be slightly conservative, to slightly take away from their attacking instincts.
And even then, I agree with you with what you're saying as well. Yeah, go on.
So I mean, if you're being asked to do that, then when they're not making those bursting runs, when they're not kind of making those forward passes, incisive passes, then it's more the system. I mean, remember when Oxlade-Chamberlain first came, he was slightly advanced.
Yeah.
We had it was either Chan, Milner, Henderson,
Yeah.
or Wijnaldum, two of those four, and he was slightly advanced, and it worked. But I think Klopp's tweaked it, and maybe he's got Oxlade-Chamberlain and Cater have got to find a way of imposing their game despite the restrictions.
I look at it like this, yeah. If you have a free midfield, yeah, like that, right, or however you want to see it, and yeah, you got these three up top, and we say, yeah, do your thing, but you do have to have one of those three, have to have the eye to be able to, because you want to be able to join that and make that become a four. So it becomes more of a threat then.
Yeah.
We can't just be looking at it, we're going to thread it to Mane, or we're going to thread it to Firmino, he's going to spin it off either way, or it can't. I think going forward, if you've got the two, so even if you have Winnie and Hendo, and they kind of say, all right, cool, Nabs, you go, we got you covered. But obviously once sorry, go on.
Do you know, I'm cutting you because I think that's exactly what happened once you, like you said, Wijnaldum and Henderson
done the
came
subs.
on. Them two kind of were the holders,
It made the
holder-ish, and that freed Naby, which then we get the goal. Do you see what I mean? Excuse me.
100%.
So
and that's the notes I had down.
Yeah.
The subs were perfect because once he done that, you hear him from the Villa boys. They've done their job. On that 11,
yeah.
they've done their
Yeah,
job.
definitely.
Then they look up and they go, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah,
now
that's
the
what-
whole
that's what
game's
Dean
gonna
Smith said.
It's gonna change again.
Yeah.
The energy's gonna change, the way our pattern of play is gonna
yeah,
change,
yeah.
and it kills them. And that is what you need. And that's why I feel the guys that were on the pitch today didn't do themselves any justice. Because if you did, you'd have done damage, and we wouldn't even, maybe not even had to bring on the rest. You could have brought your Curtis's a bit earlier and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But they didn't do the damage. That to me, a game like where we lose 4-0, I'm like, yeah, but a game today where we're at home and we've made it a real slug, win it. I want you boys to be at it. If you want to be there next season, show this guy why you got to be knocking. Show him why you don't need to go and buy this Thiago, whoever. Show them, innit?
Yeah.
If
No,
you're
I'm
not
with you.
showing
I'm
them,
with you
innit?
100%.
You've got to show for me, I'm that's where I get passionate because I want to see my guys hungry for. I'm really happy with what our boss said the other day. He went, I learned from my mistakes at Dortmund from when we won the league. Do you know how much that fills me with joy when I hear that? Because that makes me think, rah, look at that. You're actually looking forward now to see how you're gonna. We're not gonna think we're gonna go for this title like we ain't had a title.
Yeah, he says we're not going to defend the title. We're going to fight for the next one. That's what he said.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So he's already shown me he's of the mindset of that. The title's not ours. I think he's going to
we've
approach
got
his.
to earn it.
We're not champions. We're now just challenges for the. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
As you should. As you should. Yeah.
So then, what about, guys? If you can hear me, with those players that you just mentioned, the Oxes and Caters.
Yeah.
Do they want to be in the middle? Because they want to try. It feels like they can dictate games, but they're having to do it from whatever position they're in.
Right.
And Fab was the centre guy who would be kind of the axis of the pivot.
Right.
Do they want to be in the middle and dictating the game from there?
Yeah, I think that's a
Good
really
point.
good point. I think both Naby and Ox are both central midfielders, but in a three, they're obviously left or right of the midfield. Do you understand what I mean? They're not quite in the centre because Fabinho is in that centre because he's mopping up. So you have Fabinho in the centre and you have them two either side. Do you get what I'm saying? And then what actually ends up happening is that Ox usually drifts wide, and so does Naby drifts wide, where Mane might come inside a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're not playing in their ideal position. Ideally, if they played. Ideally, what you want to do is have two holders and play one in the front. So, you know, a little triangle there and that guy can get up and down. Do you see what I mean?
When Ox first came to the team, that's the formation ideally, but obviously we were leaking goals, so what do you want? Do you want the goals being leaked or do you want the title?
It's true.
You want to be picking up trophies, so...
That is a great point though, Chris. That is a great point. I think Naby and Ox both want to be like traditional centre midfielders, but we don't have that shape in our squad at the minute. I mean, none of them warrant leaving Fabinho out. I mean, before the break, he went off the boil a little bit, in my opinion. But since we've come back, he's been even against Manchester City. He was actually all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he wasn't bad. So
He's a player that needs if he's been out, he always needs a few games to warm up. Like that's what I've noticed about him.
I always feel in the game, it takes him about 15-20 minutes to get into the game
get the
properly.
rhythm.
Then when he's on it, he's like he just dictates and does what he wants.
I want to give a special shout out to my guy today as well, Mane. Flipping hell, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people see what I see in this guy, bro.
Nah.
It's just, I'm like,
I see it as well.
Oh my god, I don't think he gets enough praise.
Nah, not
I don't
in
know
the
if he
media.
gets enough. I just don't know, man. But he's a guy. When it's not happening, he's like a driving force. He's just trying. I'm gonna poke it this way. I'm gonna try and go this way. I'm like, yeah, something's gonna come. It's gonna come from you. I see sometimes when it gets to him, he wants to speed the tempo up. But sometimes, like today, it was a bit flat.
Okay.
Origi,
right, that's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna go on to next.
You wanna get in there, Chris? You wanna get involved? You sure, mate? I'm ready to give you a little bit.
This is what I was gonna say. Now with Origi on the pitch, like I mean, Origi's got a place in every Liverpool fan's heart. Yeah?
Yes.
He scored some really important goals, but when he's part of the front three, doesn't he just slow it down a bit too much?
Yeah, man.
Because I mean, like. And another thing, like, is Origi really the player you want to be bringing on when you want to rest one of your front three? This is kind of eating into something else I want to speak about, but I don't mind.
So,
No, it's fine. But is he that guy?
Nah, you know what I found Origi's kind of role is, right? What happens with him, yeah? If we're in a game and he comes on, what tends to happen is that whoever we're playing switch off because they think they kind of disrespect him in that sense, yeah? And then he'll get that little bit of a break and he'll play that ball in. We might even get a shot off and get a goal. That's what tends to happen. That's what I think. I don't want him to take that. I don't want to take this personally, but that's the role he plays. When he starts, I don't really see like a kind of a thing there that I'm going, boy, how are we going to keep this lad on the bench? Like, because he's causing me a headache. Do you know what I mean? I don't see it. He's just he's comfortable now. That's how I see it. He's comfortable with coming off the bench. He's comfortable with just playing when he gets the starts, and that's not good enough for me. I want you to see you hungry.
Yeah, I hear everything you say. I've got a slightly different take.
Go on.
I think that
Come closer, come forward.
To be fair, I think what chances do you get? I think as a striker, you rely on the service from like I don't know the wide guys in midfield. I didn't really think he had the chances, although
today or in general.
Today. So I'm talking about the Villa game. So today, I don't think we really had the chances. I think that. When he did get the ball, I see your point. Like he takes an extra touch too much, and it can be a bit frustrating. But I didn't see much passes into him. He didn't have the chance to run in behind because Villa were playing so deep. But it's hard for me to judge him on this game.
Does our style fit Origi?
I think it does. I think what he brings to the team, he's big, he's strong, so you'd think he'd be able to physical the centre back, and he gives us a different approach to a Bobby dropping deep and linking it. So I think from that perspective, he gives us a different way of kind of attacking. But I don't know, it's hard to. He hasn't had the chances. I went to see him when we played Arsenal, we drew 5-1, 5-5 up front, and like up front he was out wide, and when Origi out wide is a waste of time, wasting your time. When you play him up front, that's when you kind of get the best out of him. He scored 2 goals that day, and he was a handful. He was a problem, and I need to see more of him.
I would tend to agree with you slightly in the sense that when he plays wide, I think that's the problem. When he plays through his position, he's a number 9, realistically, isn't he? Yeah. And I think through the middle is where he really would want to be. But given the way that we play, the fluidity in which we play, he has to be adaptable, go left or right or in through the middle. But when he is wide, he is the problem because he slows the ball down. Yeah. You got Salah, who tries, not quickens it up, but he'll get the ball, he'll run at defender, try cut inside and shoot. Mane will stand the man up and try and beat him or whatever. But Origi, he just waits that little bit too longer and slows down the play. And I think today you saw that. Because then, I mean, Bobby comes on, and for me, the game speeds up a little bit. Because with Bobby, you get those like little touches, those little flicks, where it keeps it moving. Do you see what I'm saying? I just feel like Origi just slows the game down a little bit too much. And I just feel like you're talking about his hunger. I don't think his hunger's in doubt. He's at a big club, winning big trophies, but he knows there's class ahead of him. If it was up to Origi, he'd start every week, but he knows there's class ahead of him, so he's happy to come off the bench and do his part in that sense. And I feel like you need players like that in your ranks because we didn't get Werner, yeah? That was part of the reason we didn't get him, because he didn't want to be a bench player. He didn't want less. He didn't we know his wages were high and whatever, but I guarantee you, you don't go from being a starter at a team and then come to a team and sit on a bench. That's not your. I mean, you're a star, so you're gonna need the Origi types. So my only thing is, if we get rid of Origi, who does the Origi job?
Yeah.
I hear that, but I hear what you're saying. But then at the same time, I think that we've got Brewster. I think Brewster's got some serious potential in him.
Well, you see, there you go. That's another thing I was going to talk about.
I've got some, but
Brewster's on loan at the minute.
He's banging in goals.
7 goals he's scored so far since the restart. Is it 7 goals overall? Overall, yeah, 7 goals overall, and he just got another one today as well. So, and
but the jump from a championship to Premier League, going for the title, that's a huge jump.
And everyone always says that, but Chris, isn't a goal scorer a goal scorer?
To me, a goal scorer is a goal scorer, and I think with Origi, you asked the question earlier whether he fits our style. He is a number 9, but he's a number 9 in the ilk of someone like Benteke.
Yeah, static number 9, I like to call him. Yeah, like a big target man up front who you get the ball to and he's going to do bits. Yeah.
Against Arsenal, he was the guy. He's an experienced, not first 11, but first team, surrounded by kids. So he was always going to be the focal point. So he tore Arsenal apart that day. But when it's him now and you rely on him to do bits as a starter, I don't know if the formation suits him.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, good point. But yeah, what are you saying about Brewster coming in? Could he possibly be the guy? He looks to me a bit more of a Michael Owen-esque player.
I think I don't know if you guys see it, but do you remember that? Do you remember the lad, the one that's at Leicester now, Iheanacho? Is it Iheanacho?
Yeah, Kylian Iheanacho. Yeah.
I found when he used to come on for City, he grabbed his. Anytime he had his thing, he missed some chances. Don't get me wrong, but he used to always make sure. I used to always see this kid. He would score when he come on, or create something every time. When I'm talking about certain players, this is what I'm talking about. And remember, he's at City. There's guys ahead of him. So when I'm looking at Origi, when I'm talking about the hunger, I kind of, for me, I have to hold on to this. Like I can see it, and I just feel that he's there. He's like, yeah, I'm here. This is where I'm at, and I'm cool to be in this position. You should be knocking on that door going, nah, I want more than 15. I want 20 at least. And in 20, I'm going to do damage. And if you do damage in 10, the manager's got to start going, oh, okay, cool. Ole Gunnar, I know I'm going back, but these guys come on and did a job, like, differently. He scored some important goals for us, but actually, when you really think about it, apart from those goals that he scored, and of course, I'm one of them ones I used to say, if Origi is the answer, what was the question? You have to ask yourself, though, realistically, what has he actually given us? he has, what really is he, like, he's the lad, we loaned him back to Lille when we first originally got him, yeah? And then he had a poor time out there, come here.
Yeah,
it's
but I
like,
think his head was gone in that last season.
but then even when he come here, it still was like, it was all mad
we
for him,
sent him
innit?
back on loan, didn't we?
It's all
sent
mad.
to Wolfsburg, innit? But he did all right at Wolfsburg as well. He did.
It's a tough one because
That's just my opinion on the lad, innit?
My opinion is that, like, obviously last season he didn't get a chance. It was the front three, but then you get your chance against Everton, you make an impact. Against Barcelona, you make an impact. So that shows that he's focused. That shows some level of focus for.
Does it, or is that sentiment for you?
It's not sentiment. He came Barcelona. Barcelona's Barcelona.
But what about the other games though? Like they're two big games. Don't get me wrong. And like I keep saying, yeah, it's easy to play when people don't look. Because I've seen it countless times when we don't have, like, say Salah or we don't have Mane, and he comes in. I find that we don't have that same kind of. When you got them three, it's just a problem. The headache is just mad, isn't it? It's
the
just
drop off from when our front three are playing and the people that come in is quite big. But I think he's done all right. I think you think about that Newcastle game last season, 2-2 last minute.
Yeah.
So I think his attitude is decent.
He came off the bench that game though, didn't he?
But what I'm getting across his attitude is, I think his attitude is decent.
Oh, okay.
I
I kind of agree with his attitude, but when it comes to Origi, overall, for me, and you can agree or disagree, he's not our level. He's not the level that we're required of the Premier League champions. He's not there yet. He's had enough time, enough opportunities to be that level, but I just don't feel like he is that level, and I don't think he will ever be that level. I think now is a good time for him to say goodbye and move on and go somewhere and be the main man somewhere else. And that hurts my soul to say that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But because he's given us some good memories, but I just think, we need to up the levels.
If I could just add, just going by City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, all these teams, I could reel off the strikers that they've had. And there was problems there with guys wanting to have that position and they didn't want to be on the bench. But they had at least 3 to 4 strikers that were banging. Like, I'm talking, like, for argument's sake, United, they had the Dwight York, Andy Cole, and Ole Gunnar, Teddy Sheringham. Then they had the Berbatov, Rooney, Cristiano, and I can't remember who the other one was they had there. Tevez, yeah. So what I'm saying is, everyone's had these guys, and the guys don't want to be on the bench. These are like, we haven't even got that. Like, I'm making out like our squad is dead. It's not.
No, yeah, but it's not. Them players were playing for, whether you like it or not, Whiskey Nose, Sir Alex, Manchester United. You get what I'm saying? We haven't quite been on our perch for like the last 30 years. City. So hopefully now, but City had the money to bring these players in. So man saying come, you're gonna sit on the bench, but we're gonna pay you 150 grand a week, and you're gonna work under Pep Guardiola or managers beforehand, Pellegrini and all that. But you were winning things, It's different. You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Now Klopp's put us back on our perch. Hopefully, we'll get players who want to play for Klopp, because they know what kind of a good manager is. That's what I'm hoping. And they will sit on the bench. But then at the same time, we're not City, so we have to do it in a way where you're not sitting on a bench on 150, 200 grand a week. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have that added task of balancing. Even United had the money to pay stupid wages as well. So we've got that balancing act to do. So I get what you're saying about teams having 3 or 4 great strikers, but I feel like the way we're doing it right now is difficult, like I said, with the books, and we haven't been on our perch. We've just got back on our perch.
But I'm not even expecting us to have these kind of sensational forwards. I'm just talking about having guys
decent
that are just just hungry. When I talk about hunger, I playing ball to a certain, I know what it's like when you want to get out there and you want to show them what you're about and you want your football to do the talking. Trust me, like when you get out there, it's a whole. Your level of thing is a whole nother level, bruv. But when you're settled, you see a guy that's just happy to pick up his money. He's happy to put in a shift. He'll put in a shift. That's all I'm saying.
But you mean he's not knocking on the manager's
I just
door?
don't think he's really hammering that door. There's guys that you see, when you watch these things, you see guys that will be knocking on the door going, "Oh, give me my shout out."
But then the other side to that is that they did knock on the manager's door. They upset the apple cart. you go, oh, I'm not playing. Why am I playing? Things get leaked in the press.
I get what you're saying, but there's two ways of doing it. You can go in and you can be all like, I want to play, or you can just say, boss, like, I'm not happy with my game time. You could that, and as a manager, I would like to feel you'd respect that, and you want that. You want that headache. Your players are hungry, like Leroy's saying, hungry and eager to play. Do you know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. If you're an unhappy player, and if you have one bad apple in the cart, the rest go bad, innit? I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's that kind of thing with Origi.
Come, Chris, get in there. You know what I mean?
All right, we're gonna bring Chris. You know what I'm saying? Quick substitution and that. You know what I mean? What's happening, sir?
Not too much.
Good.
Too much. You good?
Yeah.
Happy to be back.
All right, so let's leave poor Divock alone with his new blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? Well, you feeling Origi's new hairstyle, yeah?
It's all right, man.
Right, listen,
you won the league, man. You do what you want.
You're talking to a man who used to have blonde hair, yeah? Big up you, Divock, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Obviously, when the changes were made, Bobby came in. We have to talk about Bobby's record at home, man. Yeah, well, I saw something like 50 shots or something like that he's had at home and not one goal. And it's like, it's mad, yeah, because you can say Bobby's record at home is poor, but we're Premier League champions, bro. Do you know, so
that overrides everything.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like this dumb stat I'm hearing, bruv, like, your United's front three have got more goals than Liverpool front three, bruv. You're fifth.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Like, shut up. Like, so it's mad. So like, you can say Bobby's got a bad record at home, but when you're champions of England,
we'll console ourselves with the league title.
For the sake of topic and talking about it, his record is a bit of a shambles, isn't it? Really. Yeah. I mean, why doesn't he get more goals at home?
But he's the system, isn't he? He's part of the overall system. He isn't that number 9 that typically you're going to put him up against others and say, show us your stats. You know? He probably will make space for others. He's going to be bringing others into the game, so on and so forth. So actually, you have to look beyond just numbers. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It's all-round game.
Yeah. When he's not there, we've been speaking about it for, the last 10 minutes. When he wasn't there, that cohesion between the front three, when someone else is there, the drop-off is mad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, it's hard to explain, but I still, for everything you've said, I think he should be getting more goals. Play with his ability, his talent. He should be getting some more goals.
I think the only critical bit I can be of Bobby is he's not clinical enough at times.
100.
That's what I would say. He's not clinical enough, and that's probably where he'll make up for that goal thing there. I think that's where he'll probably get his goals out. He's not clinical enough. Yeah, that's his problem.
Well, yeah, none of the front three are quite clinical, but Bobby's is worse. But
he'll kick in the ground.
Yeah. But you know what though? Bobby kind of makes up for it in things that he does. The assists,
he
does.
The link-up play,
his link-up play. I will never forget the assist for Salah against Newcastle. The speed of thought is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely sick. And I mean, like you said, I think you have to look at his all-round game, not just his
And you know he's got it in the locker. That game away to, was it Leicester? When Trent whips in the ball and he just controls it on the outside of the foot and it was top bins. I said, wow. So he's got it. So it's just
bringing it out, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of don't mind having a player that can fire away from home. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously away from home is harder. Yeah, away from home is harder than at home. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to score at home, but
he's got some big goals. Tottenham away, Chelsea away. So Leicester.
Wolves.
But the Burnley one, was it? But he scored at Burnley as well this season.
Yeah. So
as a question to you guys, I don't know what's the top. Who's the top goal scorer in the league at the minute?
Vardy's the top goal scorer in the league. Vardy has 20 or 21.
21 now.
Yeah,
Mo's got 17 or something like that. So.
And I think Aubameyang's not far
19,
behind.
What's Ings on? Is Ings up there?
18.
He's on 18.
Yeah.
So I always had this kind of philosophy myself, that like when you had when anyone had a top goal scorer in their team, the team pretty much won the league, But actually, when you look at it, we've had the top goal scorer for the top goal. The
last 2 seasons, and we didn't win nothing. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. And then look, I believe when you spread the goals around, it's when the goals come from everywhere, because it's not always. If your main striker gets cancelled out of the game, your main goal, you're finished. You're finished. Yeah. But how do you cancel out a team who gets goals from left wing, right wing, centre midfield, centre backs? You know what I mean? Like, I get it, and that's why, even though I'm bringing it up, it's kind of we're fucking champions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know
we
what I'm
won the
saying?
league, man. We won the league.
The goals are shared out.
Yeah.
But if you think about old school, though, I mean, your Henry's and that, they used to get 30 plus.
Yeah.
And Arsenal would win the league, and that was their goals. You just couldn't stop them guys.
Yeah.
Now, over time, it's changed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Football.
Goals,
Yeah, football's evolved. Football's kind of more, it's more of a
definitely.
team game. It's more kind of like.
No, 100. So Bobby's got a wretched home record, but we love him still. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Still love
Bobby.
boy.
Would you change him for say a Brewster up front? More of a number 9.
Change him out and just throw him in and take him out. So
Yeah. Would you take Bobby out of the team to put in an out and out number 9?
See what the number 9 can offer. Why not have a look? It won't hurt to kind of. We know what Bobby can offer, but why not have a look at see what a number 9 can bring to us?
But again, I think for me, because he's a lot of what the system is, if you take him out, you have to tweak it up. That's why, no disrespect, but the brother who's gone to Chelsea, Warner, I think we should have, if it weren't for whatever we don't know, we should have gone in for that, because he goes across the front three and he's comfortable everywhere. And I don't think the level of drop-off is that bad.
Come in.
Sorry, I don't think the level of drop-off is that bad. So I think we should have gone all out to get him. Doesn't matter if he's going to sit on the bench. He's at a squad now that had just won the Champions League and was about to be champion.
I actually disagree with you. It doesn't matter if he sits on the bench, because it's about harmony in the team and player happiness. Like Sam was saying about possibly Origi upsetting the apple cart. You don't want a guy who, forget the money, he might be getting the money, but he's not playing. I mean, Werner, how old is he? I don't even know how old he is. He's
24.
He's young, so he's definitely hungry and wants to make a name for himself. Yeah, he's getting the money, but he wants to start. And then how long he's going to sit on the bench for and knock on that door? Do you get what I'm saying?
But what if he came in and did a madness like Salah first season?
He could do, but there's other things that it's hard for me, because the other thing that comes with Werner, like his price tag, his wage demands.
Yeah, so
how many people then?
His reputation.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
And then them man are unhappy.
This
He's
is
coming. He's on 200 grand, boss. Like, and it's just mad. Then it just, you get what I'm saying. So there's so many other things around that signing.
Yeah, it's not just the
it's
player.
Not, exactly.
There's more to it. Like,
exactly. So, which for me, I think they've made the right decision in not signing him. But I get what you're saying. You
From
need,
quality,
in terms of, if you look at it as a player, not his wages, we need a player like him, 100%. But I don't know, man. Even though having a Brewster up front might upset the system, then the system needs to change too.
Yeah, and you need to, because teams have probably not worked us out, but they know how we play. So you've got, from tactical point of view, you've got to come with something else.
Yeah,
give them
a plan B.
Yeah, something to think about. You think we're going to come at you like this, but actually we've been working on this. So I think that's all part of evolving.
To go back to what you said, we still don't have like a locksmith in our midfield. You know what I'm saying?
You know who I
So who do you want? Who do you want?
Name names.
You want him back? Yeah.
With his back injuries and that.
Say it.
Yeah, with his back injuries, yeah?
It's fake back. Guys, Leroy still wants Coutinho to come back. We're not going to do the Coutinho debate. Can't just allow it. But you know what? Fair enough. You threw his name out there. That's who you want. Stand by your man. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I will say this: we do need someone like that. That creative spark. I thought when we played against Everton and some of these away games recently, we've just been missing that. And again, it's something for opposition to think about. You've got someone that's a bit different. So
that's the thing that gets me, is this season we were just like a steam train, but next season teams are gonna set themselves out a certain way. They're going to follow a blueprint of the teams that have been successful
against
during
us.
the game, against us, and they're going to try that. And every game is going to be that, trying to slug it out and try and stick to the plan and stick to plan A, stick to plan A, stick to plan. But it's going to get harder and harder and harder. You got to have something where you can throw on this next factor. And they're like, oh man, they're gonna deal with this now. And that's what I want them to have. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying for us, for next season, we now need to come with something different, because we've gone 2 seasons playing a certain way. Now we need to come with what we have now and a little something else. Maybe he has something in the. He has something.
Yeah, we don't know, because we're not privy to Klopp's into Klopp's brains. You know what I mean? But we're here to speculate these things, and we're here to debate these things and give our opinions on what we feel we need as
someone
a team.
mentioned the name earlier on, though.
Who?
The Twitter's been all over this for the last 48 hours. What do you call it? This brother from Bajan, innit?
Oh yeah, Thiago. I can't say his surname.
Ala
something or other from
all
Bayern.
over it,
What kind of players? I openly admit that I'm a Premier League snob. If it's not the Premier League, I don't watch it. So, what kind of player is Thiago? I know he's a midfielder. What kind of player is he? Does anyone know?
It feels like ball retention again.
Yeah, Keita, like you know how he kind of drifts with the ball. Yeah.
You get. I think he's looking for control now, though. I think that's what. If this is what we're going for, I think that's what it is.
What you mean control to control games, to have the ball and just
you know it's that
pass them to death.
Yeah, and you know it's also that thing of when it comes to these players like him, it's ball reps. You say ball retention, keep the ball, even if they're not afraid to go back and forward again. You see what I'm saying? Where some guys they feel I've got to go forward. Sometimes it's the passes that go sideways. You know, it's not a problem.
Bit like Henderson.
Sometimes, that's good.
Gonna come, then bang, you hit them. I think that's what he wants, and I think if you've got, I've noticed, and that's why I applaud this guy, but Klopp is the man, innit? Because when we lost certain midfielders in our game, through injury or whatever, it hurt us badly. Like going into other games, then we started dropping off points. But then what he done was he just packed it out to the point where you can bring in Ops who can do a job here. We've got Fabs and then Naby's out as always, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt.
I said as always, you know. Them little slice slurs.
I want him to come good, innit? He's on my shirt, man. Man's got a big number 8. You know?
Come on, though. Today that pass in, that was risky. Bang in.
Mate, I'm not. I want him to do that all the time, though.
Yeah, it's the consistency.
Yeah,
it's
true,
doing that on a regular basis. That's what it is.
I
Yeah.
want to see this guy and go, oh, not him again.
Yeah.
Listen, what I want for our team, you don't understand.
So yeah, who did we get on? Who were we talking about before Thiago? Yeah, but who were we talking about before? I've lost my chain of thought. But yeah, the Thiago rumor. Would you be happy if we signed him?
Not for the 5 years that they're talking though. Yeah, I heard 5 years been agreed, but you don't know who to believe in it at this moment.
It's all rumours at the minute.
He's 29 years old, but listen, that don't mean anything.
No, look at James Milner.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly. It doesn't mean anything.
Words.
But if you're talking about another person to be in there, another body, ball retention, eye through the thread of a needle, all that kind of thing, I don't see why we wouldn't do it personally.
While he's a good player, I think we'd have to sell someone because. It's just too much.
I'm glad you said that. Now, my thinking, a lot of people are thinking Winnie's going to leave because I think Winnie's contract is kind of up. Something, but as far as I'm aware, Winnie's people are going to discuss a contract at some point. But I don't think Wijnaldum's going to leave. But I think possibly Milner could go. Because obviously being the older statesman, he's done what he came to do. He was the only person in our team to have won the Premier League. So he came to bring that experience. He's brought that experience. We've won the Premier League. Yeah.
And the Champions League.
Leroy's clapping me off camera. So I believe with Leeds on their way up, because they're top of the Championship right now, and I'm not sure of the points gap, but I think they're like...
They're an automatic.
You know what? I'm actually going to have a quick look just to see the gap they have at the top. So they're a point ahead of West Brom in second, and the third place they are 6 points ahead of third place of Brentford. So it is looking like Leeds are going to come up. Whether they come up champions or not is another story. So I think Milner could probably see out his career at his boyhood club Leeds. Do you know what I'm saying? So that leaves a gap in the midfield.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think we could do with a bit of freshening up there. You know, I don't know. It does feel a little bit. Same old same. A little bit.
But you know what? Better the devil you know though, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has.
Better the devil you know.
89 points.
Yeah, and count. And count.
Mate.
But do you feel like this rumour is a bit too public? Because a lot of people say that we do our business in private.
Yeah, it's come out of nowhere. It's all of a sudden Thiago, and he's like you said, this thing's gathered legs and arms, and
that is,
no, it's true though.
That's quality, Sam.
It's mad. And even he himself, I was like, hold on a second. Of all the players you could have picked in your squad to put on your timeline, man picked Coutinho, and he's there skinny teeth with it. I was like, wait, don't mock us, like don't do this. Don't mock us.
But yeah, like I said, I openly admit I don't watch really much European football. I'm just a Premier League buff, but what I'm hearing of him and what I'm reading of him, he sounds like he'd fit the mold of what we require in central midfield. So I guess only time will tell. I mean, I'm even at a loss as to when the transfer window's opening this season, man. Like, what's going on?
I'm
Like,
not even sure.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right now I'm just being hit with football matches every day, and I'm loving it because you know what I mean, football to watch. But it's just I just don't get what's going on. So yeah, we'll see when the window opens if that link bears any fruit, man. Also on today's game, I just wanted to talk about the couple penalty shouts that Salah had. Pens or not pens?
The first one looked dodgy. The first one looked like it could have been a penalty.
Because Jurgen Klopp came out after the game and he was a little bit salty about it, saying that penalties were given in the City game for hands and we didn't get it given today. And when I thought about it, I was like, you're actually right. Gomez was holding Sterling.
Yeah,
It was
he
penalty,
was,
yeah?
he
We
was,
all
he
agree it was
was,
penalty, yeah? We were all upset he was holding it. But there was a couple of times Salah was being held back.
The second one, come on, he needs to stop. He needs to, that wasn't, it was not enough for me.
Yeah.
We've had this debate before where we said, oh, he feels he has to do that because if he doesn't, he doesn't get him. That one was weak. The first one, I think is debatable.
Yeah.
The first one I thought was debatable. For me, I was like, why is that not a penalty? Why are you not even looking at that kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
But the second one, I was like,
Falls into the scene them give him.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like, a lot of penalties, you see a lot of someone giving someone not. So what is a penalty these days? But no, I've definitely seen him give. I thought he got caught. He got caught. That first one.
Felt if they I felt what happened though with that defender. From what I remember, if he held him at the Gomez one, he just held him just too long. It was just too long, and then you're going. Sterling was all right. He just kind of collapsed a bit.
Yeah, he did.
Just enough to go. Yeah, that's a foul, isn't it? But for me, with things, man, I can see why they didn't give up. First time, I was like, that's a pen.
Yeah, like a typical Liverpool fan, innit?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's a pen! What you doing?
Unless you ain't give it to us, but as you say, it does fall into that category. They've been given, innit?
It's just so difficult. With having VAR, I just feel like it hasn't helped level the playing field in a sense of, right, that's a pen, we're going to give that in every single game. It's still...
Yeah,
sort of,
there's still grey areas. Where it should be like black and white. Is or isn't.
Yes, it's still very grey that, but hey, it weren't given. It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we scored 2 great goals. The first one was like Trent was actually spraying them balls all day, wasn't he? And it was a great pass from Trent inside. It was he played through the middle to Naby Keita.
Yeah,
and then. It was a nice pass from Naby to Mane to finish.
Good goal.
Yeah. But the second goal, because I wanted to talk about this lad, Curtis Jones came on, just signed a new 5-year contract with us. He had one shot, it was quite wild. You're like, Curtis, really? Like,
Getting a bit
really?
giddy,
But then after some play, I felt I could see Mo trying really hard to get a goal today, and then there was a point in the game where I thought he's just stopped now. He's trying to lay it on a plate. Ball comes to the back post. Mo nods it back, and it was a great little finish from the lad.
Yeah,
happy for him, man.
Really happy. Like I said, like at the start, like these games, I want the squad players to show that they should be in a team, and I want to see someone that's going to get me excited to see them, excited for next season. And he came on, he scored that goal. I was so happy. You know what? Yeah, look at you. You want it. You want to stake your claim. You're not just kind of here just to kind of like,
But even when there was a point in the game, he just come on the pitch, the ball come into him, he's let it go, he's Cruyff laid it out. I was like, right, you going for Cruyff turns it. I mean, you just come on, but that's what I'm saying. When you come on, you want to say, I'm the business.
Yeah.
Without actually having to bang on the door.
And
your performance speaks for you.
Yes. And you know what? Not that I was critical, but I was saying this about Nico Williams when he came on and we were goals up. He came on, no pressure, blah, blah, blah. But for Curtis today, there was slight pressure in the game. We're only 1-0 up. He even said it in his interview, our post-match interview, the game can go either way, but the lad's come on still full of confidence and still trying things, and he's managed to bag himself a goal. I think you're right. That's what you want to see from your players that are coming off the bench, or youth players. You want to see that hunger and that desire. Bodes well for the future.
And that's what Nico Williams did in the Palace game, because that's where he had a shot and he got saved and whatever. And they were like, right, he really came in and he was front foot. We're 4-0 up, and he was like, right, I'm still looking to, and that's what you need. I think
that's what I want to see from these games. That's just hunger, desire. Show me you want that shirt.
I think they show stuff in training, because that's probably why Harvey's not getting in. like that.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because he's quite, the way he plays, I think he still plays within himself. And I said, when I watched him for Fulham, what he was doing there, he's free. I think here, I think
but
that pressure.
I think in Harvey's defence, he's 16?
He's young, isn't
He's young. I think he's probably younger than Curtis Jones.
Oh,
and them
by
lot, you know what
far,
I mean?
yeah, by far, yeah.
So
He is.
I think he's still got a way to go. And I think us as fans, we forget part of maturing as a player, as a football player, is being around the first team, is travelling with the first team squad and being on the bench. Maybe not even getting minutes, but that's part of it, because that builds your desire. You get to see the game like firsthand, and it makes you hungry to get on that pitch. So that's all part of it. And I think for Harvey Elliott, who I think is an excellent teenager, and he's going to be a great footballer. Like, if he stays where he is, he's going to be a great footballer. I think, that's still important for him to be in the squad and in around it, even if he's not getting minutes.
What about the 100 points, King?
Yeah, 1 second. We're going to get to when we come to the 100 points. But Klopp did say he isn't giving out appearances like Christmas presents. But don't you think it's only right that some of these youngsters get a medal for this season?
I think everyone
100%.
could get it. Everyone.
Yeah.
When he said it, I was like, I rate the fact that you're trying to keep everybody humble and whatever else. But then he flipped it and he said, this is nonsense. Where did you come up with this idea of every man has to get 5? Yeah. He said, at the end of the day, if you've been involved and you've been training 1 million times for the whole year and then your team's champions, you should get a medal. Because you pushed the mans in front of you to the performances.
Is that what he said?
That's what he came out.
Really good point.
That's what he came out and said in his press conference.
Really good
So
point.
he said, if they're not going to give it, I'll give it. I'll give mine. I don't care. I don't need to have one. But them man have been. So I was like, right, man, like Andy Lonergan's going to be getting it for no appearance.
but he's probably pushed Adrian and
this is the point, though,
Alisson,
isn't it? So he said, no, everybody has to get one. If there's 40, and in terms of the man them who've got it already, I think it's like 25, 26 already. That's 30. So there's still a fair amount that's left. So, and what? It's only the boys now, innit? It's only the youngsters left, and they're at like 3, 2, and 2. I think.
Yeah, I think Curtis Jones was free today.
That's right.
Was free appearances.
They
today.
should get it. Even there'll be enough to get Lonergan a medal if Klopp so chooses. It's up to the club. So.
Yeah, I would like to see them get a medal. I think they've been part of the squad. They've been part of the match day squad a few times. They've put their appearances in, and not to forget that they've tried their best in the cups as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Tried to get us in the cup. So obviously they didn't win it. Obviously, if you win the League Cup, you get a medal. But I think they deserve. I think they deserve. And I think that point Klopp made about pushing the first. It's
I rated it. I rated it. He said, why 5? Why do that if they don't play, it doesn't matter. They've trained.
Definitely.
That's a big point. But that brings me nicely onto what Leroy's asking me about the 100 points. Would you, in the last 2 games or so, risk playing some of those youngsters from the start so they get their appearances and would you risk the record basically?
Back in the day, I was against the whole thing. I was like, nah, just get the league done and blah. No. Let's get the record, 101 even. Be the greatest. Let everybody else be salty, bruv. Like, so as far as I'm concerned, you pick as much as you can. Pick the best team. Get the points record, and then I don't want to hear anything from anyone. Greatest, better than the Centurions, better than everyone. Let's get it.
For me, we're the greatest anyway. We're again world champions. We're European champions. We're English champions. No one's nothing like we're the greatest. I don't think we should give out appearances just for appearances' sake. I do want the youngsters to all the squad players to earn it. But I think as like you said, as much as Klopp can play a strongest team, but I do want to see some of those fringe players get in the game to stake their claim. That's what I'm about. Get the fringe players, to give them a couple of fringe players a go in the games. Let them stake their claim. Let them show what they've got. And I want to see that desire. I want to see that drive that I want to be a part of this team. I'm going to be a big factor in us retaining this next season. That's what I'm about. Records, if it happens, the Anfield record. I'll tell a lie. I want that Anfield record.
Yeah. What record's that? What's that?
I'm beating that whole season at Anfield.
Win all.
Fortress Anfield.
All.
Yeah.
That would be over 2 years though, wouldn't it? That because we were unbeaten at home last season as well, weren't we?
Yeah. But this one we've won them all.
Yeah.
We haven't drawn,
we've actually won.
Yeah.
We've actually won them.
That's the one I want. If
to solidify Fortress Anfield. Yeah, I think I want the 100 points. I said it from the start. I wanted the 100 points. I want us to go down as the greatest team to win the league. Like, I think this level, someone to surpass this level, they're gonna have to be Messi's sperm. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna have to be
1 point.
Yeah,
so you're right.
do you know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be crazy. So I want it because, like, I just want, given the fact with the COVID-19 break and everything like that, I just feel like now the more accolades we can get alongside on it, do you know what I'm saying? I want everything. I want everything.
Yeah.
So I'm here for the
Both feet are in your camp now.
Yeah.
Both feet are in your camp.
I'm here for that, man.
Yeah,
You want it as well, Lee? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't want it as much before. It was more so just, I think I was just like echoing yourself, because I just wanted the league was just
Well, I think everybody wanted the league because of the weight, but I think now the league's here, everyone's like
the 100 points. I'm looking at, I'm like, bloody hell! Imagine if we didn't draw with Everton, and then we go on and we win those 2 games, the Everton and Palace game. We won the league by that point. Now. Then you play. Then we play our next game.
Shitty.
Yeah. And then at this point now, you're like, wait, we're in some different kind of control. Right now, we're still in control of our own destiny. But like the games we've got, I think in that we've got Chelsea and Arsenal and amongst that, innit? Them teams, but sometimes them teams will.
Yeah, the rivalry between us.
You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping if we can do our thing. The party I'm gonna throw.
Did they change the Chelsea game? Was that supposed to be away? Was that supposed to be away at the end of the season? Was it always at home?
Always at home.
Oh, okay.
We won there 2-1, innit?
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did, didn't we? I don't know why I thought it was away. Anyway, so I guess it's apart from Sam, who's a bit like, most of us are like,
let's get that in.
Get the 100 points, man.
Only quick thing though, the Chelsea game, where does it? Is it the last home game that we have?
I think that's the last game of the season. I think.
Oh, okay.
Is that's the last game of the season, isn't it?
Because I don't want.
Are you gonna have a look for us? Yeah. Have a look.
I don't want them to do the presentation before the season's ended, because that's where
they usually.
That's where we could. I don't want to lose.
But they usually give it to you at your last home game. They have to give it to your last home game, innit? So if our last home game was away, we'd have really no choice.
But it makes no difference. No one's there.
It's true.
Like, so for me, last game of the season, once it's all done, do it there, so that there's no drop off and more partying and more drinking and whatever.
Yeah, well, Chelsea is the last home game of the season, so we ain't got to worry. We're getting it at Anfield.
Yeah, that's it. Happy days. Don't none of you man try to go there without me though. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Hey.
I was thinking about it, but you know what? You're not allowed inside.
Nah, you're not.
You could even if you're in Liverpool, you'd be watching it on a screen. So I just feel like we'll do our thing down here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But that's a whole other story for outside the pod. But don't worry, guys. If we do something, I mean, the invite will get out, be extended to everyone. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled and all of that crap. You know what I'm saying? But boys, man, that's it, man. We're good, man. I think we've managed to churn through everything nicely, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too bad subbing you in as well, man. Won't make a habit of it, but but it was good though. It was good still, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. As always, man. I've been your boy Slim. Been Sam with us today.
It's me.
Chris. Leroy there in the background.
Hey.
And till the next time, people.